Yo, 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 yo. What's going on? What's happening? What's popping, man? Happy Friday to everybody. Also, as we have reached another pretty much end of the week, start of the weekend, so big shout out for that. You know what I mean? We are in this thing. It's your dog Titus checking in with a live stream. You dig? Um, Hope y'all doing well as you come in, man. As you come in, make sure to do your dog a favor, man. Smash that like button for your guy. Smash that like button for your guy for the replay gang. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button as well. So let's hop right into this thing, man. I'm not gonna try to occupy a lot of your time. It is Friday night. It's a little bit warmer than it has been, the start of the week. You know what I mean? So I know people got stuff to do, so we won't keep you in this thing very, very long. Before we get started, man, we're actually gonna talk about what everybody else has been talking about the Atlanta Falcons, the now very viral and controversial comment that Michael Penix Jr. made in one of his more recent press conferences. We're definitely going to get into that. But before we do that, let's hop into the comment real quick. We got our dog in the house. Shout out to you, MVM1978, my guy. Says, what's good, Toddy? This game Sunday is our final shot at redemption and to salvage this season. I say bring McDaniels in from Miami as the quarterback coach and Matt LaFleur in as the OC if he is fired from Green Bay. Shout out to you, MVM, man. I always appreciate you coming in, showing a bunch of love, bro. We actually going to talk about that Matt LaFleur rumor, I guess we'll call it for right now, that has been going around, and I do definitely agree with you, bro. This Sunday, hey, man, it is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? We happen to lose this game on Sunday and drop to 3-7, excuse me. That could very well spell Raheem Morris getting fired, because at that point in time, you really don't have any redeeming qualities to save your season with your fifth consecutive loss. So one could say that Raheem is coaching for his job this weekend, but let's hope we get that dub, and we don't even have to worry about that. Got I got Ski is in the building. What's up with your Ski? So yo, Tidy, your biggest supporter. He appreciate that, Ski, man. Thank you very much. And also thank you once again, man, for just staying on me, what I'm saying, and telling me to start putting out more content, which I listen to you and also other people as well, so I'm trying to be more consistent, man. I'm trying to be here and share my thoughts and then share y'all thoughts. And, so again, I definitely thank you for the kind words, Ski. Says this coaching staff is going at the end of the year if we lose to the Panthers game, which we most likely will because of the drama Raheem and his coaches need to go. Yeah, this was definitely a drama-filled week for Atlanta, man. It's been a rough season for the Falcons, and that's really nothing new, but it's been a rough season, man. It's just been one of them Falcons seasons where it's just been like, God dang, boy, we can't win for losing right now. But if we do happen to get a victory, I'm saying happen. David got me doubtful. But if we get a victory Sunday, that'll put things in a much, much better space. So as you guys have already indicated, it's a big game. Huckerbuck71, what's up? Huckerbuck says hashtag the John Old must go. I'm not sure what that means, Huckerbuck. Dijon Old must go. You got to explain that one to me. Doing stuff with CJ. What's happening, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, bro. Hope you've been doing very, 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 very well. Ski says way too much drama for this coaching staff to be employed. And coaches calling Penix sensitive. I saw that, man. We're going to talk about that as well. Yeah, the hot seat for everyone is turning up, Toddy. Yeah, it's starting to get like mid-April, late April in Georgia when the 80-degree temperature start kicking in consistently. So you make a great point. Got my brother Winston Thorne in the house. Shout out to you, Winston. Says, what's going on, Bucket Chat? Smash the like button. Yes, please hit that like button, y'all. Thank you very much. Can we please talk about the gross negligence that is transpired? Yes, we can. We'll definitely get into that tonight as well. And y'all make sure that y'all do subscribe to Winston and John Harris at the Eye Test, and they come on every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Miss Lisa in the house as usual. What's going on, Lisa? Hope you had a good week. Raheem said that he and Penix laughed about all the discourse around his quote. I saw that also. I'm like, why y'all laughing at anything? We 3-6. What's funny? Bringing on Raheem and Penix. Dirty Bird 67. What's happening? Let's get into it, bro. Let's go, man. Let's get it, man. Shout out to you, Dirty Bird. Todd Gurley in the house as usual. Like button activated. Thank you very much, Todd. I appreciate you, bro. I just didn't rename you Todd Gurley, bro. I don't even call you by your profile name. I just started calling you Todd Gurley. But yeah, hit that like button, man. Right now on YouTube, we got 26 watching. We only got 16 likes, man. So y'all do your dog a solid. Hit that like button. Shout out to everybody on Twitter as well. Shout out to the Twitter crew. Props to y'all. Appreciate y'all coming through. Yeah, so let's go ahead and dig into it, man. Make sure I didn't miss nobody here. Shout out to Millie Mills in the house. ABG, what's up with it? What did Michael Penix say wrong? This staff is on that BS. It is what it is. Wait, you may be right about that, Millie, but we're going to get into it, man. Let's start off and I'm sure all y'all have seen it, so humor me, if you will, while we actually pull this up, and then, we're going to watch the now famous press conference again together. Mr. DJ, let's turn that dial down a little bit for me on that background music, and let's pull up this Penix press conference and get to it. Give me a second here. Let's get the share screen going. Yeah, so y'all, let's revisit this thing, man. This was, and like everything else with the Falcons, even this press conference, even the statement has been hotly debated and argued upon about what he meant, what he did mean. It's crazy, man. Well, we can't even agree on press conferences, bro. So that just show you how wild things get in Falcons land. But let me go ahead and start this up, man. Give me just a moment here. I ain't good. StreamYard changed so much. I have to get reacclimated every time I come on here. All right, so let's go. Michael Penix Jr. I'm not sure what day this was. I think this might have been Wednesday, but let's get to it.
Yeah, why not? Why not this week? We got to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. We're going to get it going.
I know you lean on your faith, but, who do you lean on to, help you? We haven't played quarterbacks. Would you lean on, a former quarterback or your coaches to kind of just help you kind of assess things and good and bad?
You saying, as far as on the field?
Yeah, both. To help you mentally and physically.
No. Mentally, my fiancée, she's always there for me. So I know whenever I get home, it doesn't matter how I played, she's always going to be there for me. She's going to have a smile on her face and give me a hug and make me feel good no matter what. But as far as physically, the on the field stuff, it's not nobody that I'll talk to, as far as another quarterback or anything like that. I do have people reach out to me. I do have quarterback coaches, though, back at home that reach out to me as well, tell me, hey, you need to clean this up, clean that up, and everything will be good. So those guys help me as far as that too. So I can shout out them.
Let me look at the comments, y'all. Do we need to watch that again, y'all? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Because of course we gotta dissect this. But before we do that, do we need to watch that again Like, I know people have watched it a few times, like I have, but do we need to watch? Do we need to watch and listen to that again? You know, y'all let me know. Somebody let me know in the comment. Like, yeah, let's watch that again and make sure our ears and eyes are working. Or no, we don't need to watch it again. Y'all let me know. Let me know if we need to run that thing back again. Cause boy, that was yes, it was a lot going on in that statement, man. It was a lot going on. I'm gonna give y'all my initial thoughts. To me, you know, I'm not the smartest guy, but to me, from what I heard from the question and the answer, it sounds like the reporter was pretty clear in her question. Who do you lean on? She first started off saying something like, well, we're not quarterbacks. So she is starting this question / statement off on the field to me. We're not quarterbacks. Who do you lean on? And of course I'm paraphrasing. That was a long question. I don't remember everything she said, but pretty much, who do you lean on for his advice, suggestions, you know, for playing the position of quarterback, whether things are going good or bad? Who's in your corner? Who do you get suggestions from? Who do you talk to for advice? And if I heard it right, it sounded like before Penix answered the question, he wanted to clarify. Do you mean on the field? Like, before he answered, it's almost like, well, are you talking about what I do on the field? Or you just talking about, you know, my everyday life, you know, like how I operate daily off the field? Yeah, y'all let me know if I'm off base now, because I could have swore I heard him clarify that on the field. Then he proceeded to pretty much say, no, there is nobody. I look to my fiancée when I get home. She's always there with a smile on her face. So when I initially heard this, it came off to me as, in layman's terms, like, Mike, you know, who's helping you out? You know, like when you have a bad game, who do you talk to? Who gives you advice? Who gives you suggestions? Does Matt Ryan call you? Does Michael Vick call you? Does your head coach call you? Does Zach Robinson shoot you a text? Who's helping you out here at Flowery Branch when things are not going like you want them to? Who's there for you? It's Kirk Cousins? Like, who's helping you? That's how I took that question. And his answer that I got from it, nobody is here in Flowery Branch to help me out. Nobody is giving me advice or suggestions. Nobody is here to help me walk through the rough paths of being a starting NFL quarterback and all the stress and the strain and the learning that comes with it. Nobody. So when I get home, like when I had a bad game this past Sunday, I got home, nobody called me, nobody texted me, nobody gave me any suggestions, nobody said, text me, hey, Mike, keep your head up. It was just my fiance. That's how I took that. Since this press conference, you know, has aired, I'm seeing some people say, well, no, you guys are taking it out of context. That's not what the reporting meant. And that's not what Penix meant. And I'm like, well, hold on, well, shoot, let me go back and listen again then, you know? I've went back and listened to this thing numerous times, and I'm still coming back with the same conclusion that I had the first time I listened to it. It's him saying there's nobody here helping me out. Like when I have a game like I had Sunday, and I'm sitting up here. Y'all remember the press conference when he was, let's just call it for what it was, when he was crying at the press conference. He went boo-hooing, but he was wiping tears from his face. So when he was crying, he was visibly upset. Like there's nobody here to tell me to keep my head up. There's nobody here telling me after the game, hey Mike, well you weren't stepping into the pocket. You was throwing the ball off your back feet. You was rushing things. You weren't using that athleticism, to tuck the ball and run on 2nd and 8, just to pick up 3 or 4 yards and make 3rd down a lot easier for you and your teammates. When I was sitting up there on that podium and I'm wiping these tears from my eyes, nobody at Flowery Branch, none of the coaches, nobody called and checked up on me. It was just business as usual. Just another day at work. That's what I got from it, y'all. And like, I've had like maybe 1 or 2 people that say, no, that's not what you heard. That's not what they meant. Like, you're not comprehending that correctly. So does any, please, like somebody, if I'm mistaken on how I took it, can somebody like lead me in the right direction on how I heard it wrong? Because after he said it, of course, it started a firestorm. And now you got the quarterback coach speaking out, hey, yeah, I talked to Mike more and I talked to my kids. I see him more and I see my kids, we're going to be sensitive. We can be sensitive. We can be vulnerable. Raheem Morris, oh, well, yeah, me and Mike Penix, we laughed about that at practice, blah, blah, blah. And Raheem Morris said something else that revolved around these last 2 Michael Penix press conferences also. And I do apologize, but I don't recall what he said, but he's spoken about it twice. And I know Jesse Bates came out and he said something also. Jesse Bates said, and I'm reading a quote here. Y'all, pardon me, I ain't got my glasses. Let me put these glasses on to try to read this quote. Falcons safety Jesse Bates on his relationship with quarterback Michael Penix Jr. Jesse Bates said, I probably should start talking to him even more now. When stuff get hard, when you're not playing as well as you want to, it's easy to go and hide away and not want to talk to anybody. So it's almost like Bates is in line on what Penix said. Like, yeah, we really don't talk that much to him. Let me say we. I really don't talk that much to him. Yeah, I'm a vet. I've seen a lot of stuff in this league. Yeah, I should be a better leader and talk to the kid. So let me see what y'all say. Like, somebody help me understand what I'm missing, because like it ain't been many. Because I think most of the people have, from what I've seen, got out of that statement or that quote what I got out of it. But some people are saying that no, you're wrong. That's not what she asked him, and that's not what he meant. I'm like, okay. Tell me what they mean. Winston said there's no mistake. He was asked a question. He clarified before answering, then spoke from the heart. If we don't reset this coaching regime, we're going to ruin his career. Players are speaking now. And Winston, that's what I got from it. I got somebody. What I took from that, somebody who was unapologetically honest to a fault in a sense. Almost like, no, Mike, don't say that, bro. No, you don't say that in public, dog. Like, no, that's not what you're supposed to say. There are some things that we don't put in out in the public as a football team, and that's one of them. So, I mean, I agree with Winston's take. I agree with this take. Slam in the building. What's going on with you, Slam? Slam says, I think based on how he took a deep breath before he started talking, he was trying to avoid a quarterback controversy with Kirk Cousins. Because remember, before that, he said Rod told him not to be so down on himself. Maybe so. Maybe so. William Paul says it wasn't good at all. And now they're just trying to play it off. Further indictment of the offensive coaches. That's how I took it too, William. And that's how I've taken this cleanup job after what Penix said. Is almost like now everybody's trying to clean it up. You know, I saw something at 92.9. I didn't hear what they said, but I saw them tweet something about, well, no, y'all wrong. We explained it yesterday. Now, I will say this, and I'm going to ask y'all to help me out. The reporter who asked him the question, I want to say I saw her tweet something now where she tried to clean it up. Did anybody see that tweet? I should have bookmarked that tweet and you know, came here and talked about it tonight, but of course my dumb ass didn't do it. But I think even the reporter tried to clean it up also. But I mean, like, she starts off the question, we are not quarterbacks. So to me, she's putting the question in the perspective of, hey, I'm about to ask you about playing quarterback and being on that field in front of all these fans and everything that comes with it. We are not quarterbacks. I feel like if she wasn't asking him about playing quarterback and how he handles it and who he talks to, then she would have never laid off by saying, well, we are not quarterbacks. I mean, because we all are people. Now, granted, we all don't play quarterback in the NFL, but we all are people. So if she was just going to ask him about, hey, how are you handling life? How are you handling now living in Atlanta? How are you handling having millions of dollars in your bank account? How do you handle stress? I feel like if it was a question that didn't have everything to do with on the field and who's your support system, then she doesn't start the question off with, we are not quarterbacks. So give us your expertise as a quarterback. Maybe I'm tripping. Like I said, people have told me, hey man, you're an idiot. You didn't comprehend what he said. Like, well, what did he mean then? You know, they tell me what he meant. King Rich in the house. What's going on with King Rich? It says he told the truth and they just trying to clean it up, and he meant exactly what he said. That's what I believe too. And two, I mean, somebody can explain to me or clarify it, or because it just seems like now everybody's trying to clean it up. Like, oh no, and you know, being honest, as you know, as a Falcons fan, that's not something Penix is supposed to say publicly. Just being honest. Now, if you talking within your circle and you ain't got a microphone in front of you, and you know, if he is frustrated and he's talking to a coach or a player like, hey man, I'm not getting the support I need, you know, hey, I'm not getting the support from the coaches I need, you know, I'm struggling in this aspect of the game, or even at Jesse Bates, he's talking to Jesse Bates like, hey man, like look, I know y'all don't get paid to be my babysitter now, but I need a little help over here. You know, if he's saying that within his teammates and within Flowery Branch, it's cool. But it's bad when you say that publicly. You know, they're probably gonna have to get Penix some media training. You know, because that just looks bad on the coaching staff and the organization, and to a smaller extent his teammates also. And I think Jesse Bates said what he said because he felt somewhat guilty, even though in Jesse Bates' defense, some of his defense, hey man, he plays safety. Like, that man has a whole quarterback room. He has the most coaches of anybody on this team. Quarterback has the most coaches of anybody on this team. Offensive coordinator, who's essentially a quarterback coach. You know, the title quarterback coach. And then you have other passing game coordinators, you know, offensive consultants. All of these guys are quarterback coaches. You know, they're trying to make the quarterback the best he possibly can be to reach his total full potential. King Rich says he may don't even know where he's struggling at because they don't talk to him. True. Very, very true. Miller says, I'm actually glad Michael Penix said what he said. Maybe Arthur Blank will crack under the media pressure and just off the dude. I guess you're saying like Raheem. And like, this looks terrible, y'all. This looks terrible. It's already bad enough we got a 4-game losing streak, but now your starting young quarterback is pretty much saying, I don't have a support system in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins, yeah, we pray together and he pat me on the back when we run out of the tunnel, but after that, he ain't talking to me. You know, Kurt like, you on your own, kid. You know, Zach and DJ Williams, like, when the lights go off, everybody going about their own business. As nice as Bijan is, like, bro, when we leave practice in the games, Bijan go his way, I go my way. You know, and and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to call out any players, but I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to get into the mind of Penix and what he meant by these comments, because that's how it came off to me. Winston says, for Rod to double down on Zach and then for you to try and laugh off what Penix was saying as if it was a joke of misconstrued. If you didn't know while we were losing, you do now. Cancer in the root. You're right. And again, this looks terrible for the coaching staff. And I know, like, this, honestly, depending on how the second half of this season goes, this could be a major contributing factor to getting this entire staff out of Flowery Branch. Your potential young franchise quarterback in his first season as starting, Sunday, crying at the press conference. Then Wednesday, there's nobody helping me. That's plain cutting out all the minutia of the question and the answer. What I got out of that, nobody's helping me. Nobody's coaching me. The teammates, I don't have a real support system. Everybody putting on the front. They're leaving it up to me to do what I need to do to lead this team to victories and eventual playoffs and Super Bowls, you know. That's how I took it. Lisa said, I took the reporter's tweet as saying nothing was taken out of context. Oh, Penix said what he said. I think she was trying to not let that Taking out of context the narrative. Oh, Lisa. Oh, do you know the reporter's name or how I can find that on Twitter? Do you know that, Lisa? Does anybody else know that? Because I wanna, because when I saw it, I was busy. I think I was working at the time, so I didn't. And I could recall her having a real long tweet, and I just did not have the time to read it at that point. And I meant to go back and read it. Y'all know how social media work. You leave something on social media and your feed refreshes and it's gone. And I never could find it. I tried to find it before I came live, but I still couldn't find it. So Lisa, if you know how I can find that tweet, or if anybody knows how I can find that tweet, I really would like to go back to it. What's going on, Clay? How you doing, brother? Clay says it's hard to believe no one is offering him coaching support. The reporter should have asked, so are you not getting coaching support on staff, coaching support from the staff or in the locker room? The fact we are discussing it means we don't know. Exactly. You make a great point, Clay, and I would have loved to hear a follow-up question. And I'm guessing, like most press conferences, the semantics of you get as a reporter, you get one question, then move on. But I really would have liked a follow-up question. And I'm guessing she might have been like me. She probably just shot what she heard, like, oh my God, did he just say what I think he said? Because that's what I like, did he just say what I thought he said? Let me listen to that again. Did he just say what I think he just said? Yeah, he said what I thought he just said. Yes, King Richard, exactly. And that's what really get me, like when people saying, oh, y'all taking this out of context. He clarified the question. He even asked her, you mean on the field? Yes, bro, that's exactly what I'm saying. Both of them clarified what they were saying. She said on the field in her initial question, and before he answered it, he's like, you mean on the field? No, you're not talking about back at the house, when my fiance gets upset at me, or my brothers or cousins, like, they upset at me because I don't have a whole lot of time to talk to them or spend with them during the season. He even clarified it before. Oh, you mean on the field? Oh, shoot, ain't nobody helping me out here, bro. I'm by myself. And I'm kind of like Clay. Is like, I mean, I got what he said, and by no means am I trying to call Penix a liar or saying he's exaggerating, but God, I just find it so hard to believe, like, that he has like no support system. And what gets me about this, because one thing I have noticed about Michael Penix is you could tell he's inexperienced in a sense when he talks. He gets real nervous when he talks. I picked that up. He has that nervous young guy energy. Sometimes he'll stumble over his words. Sometimes he'll giggle or smile because he's still nervous. I could tell when people are nervous when they talk. Y'all watch me. Y'all probably could tell some topics I'll be a little nervous or may have a little anxiety on some things I talk about. You can tell that when you're watching somebody as a viewer and a listener. But when he spoke about that part of it, oh no, he was clear and concise and straight to the point, talking right from his heart. And nobody here supporting me. Nobody here supporting me. So it's just wow. Keith Simmons, what's up, brother? Of course, everyone trying to clean it up worse. Yeah, hey man, everybody trying to clean this up, bro. And again, like, they got to get Penix some media training. It's just certain stuff, like, even if you are speaking from your heart, some stuff you just got to keep in your back pocket. And you got to know, and you got to know it's certain stuff that don't necessarily leave the locker room, is what I'm trying to say. John Higgins in the building. What's going on with you, John? Hope you're doing good. Robin Layfield in the house. What's happening, Robin? So, wow. Lisa says Maria Martin was the report. I think I would check to confirm. Okay, I definitely do appreciate that. Clay Meltzer D-Leg is out of question. He should have just jumped. He do. That D-Leg always the person who starts the press conferences. And I'm sure that's because of his seniority. He's been there longer than everybody. So he gets to ask all the questions. So I'm sure what that was. I'm sure that's what that was. Let me see. Slim says, it felt like when she said we're not quarterbacks, it sounded like she was asking if Kirk Cousins is helping you with the plays, but it's not Kirk Cousins' responsibility to help Michael Penix. So Michael Penix can't open that up to the media. I will agree with you on that. As much as it would be a outstanding thing for the veteran Kirk Cousins to be there for Penix and to mentor him, that's not Kirk's responsibility. I do agree with you on that. Especially the guy that they drafted to take your job. Well, okay, y'all drafted the guy to take my job. Here you go. I'm not going to be a counselor in the locker room, but y'all pay me a lot of money, but you don't pay me to be a mentor. You pay me to throw the football and read defenses, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to call and mentor and give Michael Penix like certain types of tutelage. That's not what I'm here for. So you make a great point. That's not his job. What's going on, Marlon? I believe this could be the beginning of the fall of his confidence. I hope not, Marlon. He is the quarterback, the face of the team, and the quarterback has to show good leadership through his coaches. I do agree. And that's the quarterback. Excuse me. You do kind of Marlon makes a great point. As a quarterback, you do kind of automatically become the face of the team. He's the captain. And I'm gonna say this to y'all. This is some of the reasons I've said this before, but I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of first year starting quarterbacks becoming a captain when they first get in the league. I don't like that idea. Now, Kirk Cousins being a veteran, that's different. He's a veteran. But I'm not a fan of like Michael Penix being a captain. And that's nothing against Penix, before y'all throw tomatoes at me. That could be anybody. That could have been Caleb Williams. That could have been Jane Daniels. Whoever, Drake May. Your first year starting, I'm not a big fan of you being a captain. But that's how the NFL is now. They just make, you're a quarterback, you're going to be the captain. That's just how they do it now. John Harris in the house. What's going on, John? Says they're holding those jobs down. Title only. You said a lot with that. It's just like a man claiming to be a truck driver just because he sat in a seat on the other side of the real truck driver. Very well stated. That's a perfect analogy. Shout out to John also from the Autistic. And y'all make sure that y'all do subscribe to the Autistic. They come on every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Slam says, but I still believe this coaching staff doesn't know how to develop a quarterback, because if they did, they would have been pushing they wouldn't be pushing this college style offense into the NFL. And they have been criticized heavily for the pistol offense. Winston says, you know how bad this looks to future potential free agent signings? It's not like Penix is a vet. He's homegrown. So for us to not support him at quarterback, then what would we do to them? Reconsiderations. That's a great point. Excellent point. Excellent point. John Kemp says, Atlanta sports anchor Allison. Let's see if I can get this right. Let me start over. Atlanta sports anchor Allison Mastrangelo. I hope I got it right. If I didn't, pardon me. Asked Michael Penix Jr. several questions, including one about who helps him through tough moments. Okay, so she asked that question. Let's see if I could put her in Google search, right? Allison Mastrangelo tweet Michael Penix. Let's see what comes up. I don't see the tweet coming up, but if anybody happens to find it, just let me know, please. Ladybird, what's happening, Ladybird? I don't understand why you can't believe that he has no support. Look at the dynamics of the play throughout the game and the disorganized route running. It is definitely not hard to believe. Lady Bird said, "You just don't want to believe it, dog." Have you been watching this team? Hey, that's a valid point, Lady Bird. I guess my whole thing is like, how and why would you not support your quarterback? It's just not registering to me. Because even in college, you know, you got coaches and teammates. They're gonna rally behind the quarterback and make sure he's well taken care of. If this was like if this was like a society or regime, which in a sense it is, the quarterback would be the king. So for them not to support, stand by the king is for me, it's just hard to believe. It really is. Jordan Lee, what's going on, Jordan? This isn't a good look for the coaching staff or front office. From Penix's press conference, Caden Ellis saying the defense gave up on plays versus New England. Yep. To Kirk arguing, is that right? Yeah, man. It's just a lot of bad looks. Too many bad looks. Skits, if we ruin Penix, we a bad franchise, right, Toddy? Ski, like y'all know me. I have to be honest. I have to be transparent. We are a bad franchise prior to Michael Penix. We drafted Michael Penix to try to change that narrative and change the direction and trajectory of this franchise. And hopefully he is the guy that helps change it. I will say that. So let's do this, y'all. Our guy, my guy, our guy, your guy, Roddy White. After these very controversial, maybe controversial isn't it the right word when it obviously was a controversial statement by Penix, but unbelievable may be a better word. After these unbelievable statements by Penix, 680, Brian Finneran, they got Roddy White on the phone. And see, you get a guy like Roddy on the phone for an interview for a few reasons. One, Roddy loves his Falcons. Roddy White loves his Falcons. Roddy White still move and talk about this team like he's still playing every Sunday and going to practice every day. Roddy always referred to the team as we got to do better. Roddy loves his Falcons. He really loves his bird. So that's one reason you got him. The second reason, he's experienced. That's another reason. Another reason, Roddy knows a lot of people still in that locker room. He still has relationships, at Flowery Branch and the locker room too, to a certain extent. But he still has relationships with people at Flowery Branch in the building. So they know, hey, you're gonna get some inside insight from Roddy White. And another big reason you talk to Roddy, Roddy is brutally honest. Roddy's gonna speak his mind. He's gonna tell you just like it is and how he see it. Roddy gonna speak his mind. He ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. So they got Roddy on the phone. Lisa says, yes, it was Allison. I'm not gonna even try her last name again. Y'all know I'm a country boy. Dad asked the question. She has the video of her talking about it. Oh, Lisa, if you happen to have that video, if you were able, can you send it to my Facebook Messenger if you have it? We'll look at it together on stream if you're able to do that. But yeah, they like, hey man, let's get Roddy on the phone. Because Roddy can make some sense of this. If we all took this out of context, Roddy gonna say, y'all bullshit. That ain't what that man meant, and that ain't what she meant. Y'all really running with a narrative out here, just getting clicks. You know what I'm saying? Just want something to talk about. No, they know Roddy gonna tell her like it is. So they called Roddy. The very next day, hey man, let's get Roddy on the phone. So they got Roddy on the phone. So if y'all don't mind, we gonna maneuver from the Penix press conference and listen to what Roddy had to say. So let's do that. Let's listen to what Roddy had to say. And this interview was, I think, today. I think Roddy did this today. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. I think Roddy did this today. So yeah, let's hear what our guy Roddy has to say. If you can't hear the audio, let me know. But here we go.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Frustrated, to say the least. As diehard Falcons guys, all we want is this team to go out and win. As a former player, what is your level of frustration watching them week in and week out?
Well, I'm really not frustrated. To be quite honest with you, I just think this process is gonna be. You're gonna have to be a little bit more patient because.
We Roddy, boy, Roddy, we've been patient a long time, Roddy White. Goodness, son, we got to be more patient. I can tell you that's not what most Falcons fans want to hear. I just said how brutally honest Roddy can be. I'm being honest, that's not what I want to hear. And I understand the patience part because now you got this young guy, his first year playing quarterback instead of Kirk Cousins. If Kurt was still starting, of course you can't say be patient because Kurt's a vet. You don't bring a vet in and pay him $100 million guaranteed over 2 years just to be patient. But things unfortunately did not go like we envisioned them with Kirk Cousins, and now we got to put the kid in, and now we got to exercise some patience. So let's keep going, Roddy.
Our team is such a young football team.
Okay.
And we just got to be able to be patient for the next 2 or 3 years, and I think this team's going to take off and be a very good football team. I think we're heading in the right direction. I think we drafted a bunch of really good players.
I agree with him on that. I think these last 2 years we have done a great job in the draft. I definitely agree with him on that. We have drafted some real good players. So I definitely agree on that. So let's keep going.
And we just got to let them mature and grow. And a couple of years from now, we'll be very appreciative of where this team is.
Roddy, this will be, if you don't make the postseason this year, this will be 8 years in a row. How patient do you want a fan base to be that's trying to have a home field advantage, which has never happened inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium? How can the fan base, for 1 second, try to be patient about what they've dealt with the last 7 and 8 years?
Okay. Now, Finn cooked on that. You cooked on that, Finn. You speaking like a frustrated Falcons fan, like we all are upset, mad, pissed off, hot, goddamn, all of that, all those emotions he just spoke of. Like, Roddy, you my guy. I'm saying, teammates, good friends. But how in the world do you expect Atlanta Falcons fans to be patient? Like, come on, Rod. Come on now, Rod. Let's see what Rod said.
Years.
I mean, well, we didn't have a smooth transition from our franchise quarterback until now. You know what I'm saying? Until we actually drafted a guy, out of the draft. I think when we moved on from Matt Ryan, we didn't have a smooth transition. I think we were trying to get a smooth transition, but we weren't able to get the guy that we actually wanted.
When he said we tried to have a smooth transition, but we were not able to get the guy that we actually wanted. What does he mean? Does he mean like we really wanted someone else in the draft prior to Penix and we just couldn't make it happen? Is that what he's saying? I'm not sure what he's saying. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you sending that to me. Is that what Rod's saying? Let's see.
And I think that kind of put our franchise at a disadvantage because now we started looking for other options to just come in here and just try to, patchwork the situation until, we can get it fixed and get a guy in the draft. So now that we got that, I think, for the last, 4 or 5 years, we drafted, top 10 guys. So, and they're all good football players.
Yep.
Oh no, Rod. I gotta be honest, Rod. I tend to side a little bit with Finn on this one. We're not the first. We're obviously not the first franchise who has moved on from a long tenured staple franchise quarterback like Matt Ryan obviously was. We're not the first NFL team that has driven down the street. Being that we're not the first NFL team that has driven down the street, why is it taking us so long to get to the end of the street when we have seen numerous other teams drive down this same street and reach their destination so much faster? If we have another losing season this year, we're pretty much knocking on the door of a full decade. A full decade, y'all. A full decade of not making the playoffs, not having a winning season. A full decade. A decade in real life is a long time. So in the NFL, that's 2 eternities.
We just got to figure out how they can achieve greatness. I've never seen a team with this many young players on offense be like blow up the league. I've never seen that. And at my time of watching football and watching the NFL, it's always a process. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to be patient. We just got to be patient.
Rod, boy. Rod, we're gonna give you a pass on that patient part because we love you a lot, Rod. we love you a lot. We know you mean well, so we're gonna give you a pass on that one.
How much is that on the coaches and the coaching staff? Because if you're trying to tell them to be patient or Arthur Blank to be patient with Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot, if you're talking about say you miss the postseason this year and then you get better next year, but you still miss the postseason and in 3 years you're good. Those guys ain't gonna be around, buddy.
Hey, Finn ain't playing with Roddy, boy. They boys, but like Finn, like, bro, shoot, no, Rod, I gotta hit you with some hard questions, Rod. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. And, Finn asked him some good, strong follow-up questions. I got to say he is.
Oh, no, I know. That's the unfortunate thing about this situation in the game of football. It's like, everybody wants, instant grits, to where you could just...
No self-respecting Southerner.
You know what I'm saying? It just isn't grits. Nobody wants to see themselves through the process. But it's a tough situation because we haven't, getting into the new stadium. Everything was looking great coming in, and then we lose Matt.
Yes, the new stadium. That stadium opened for business the year 2017 was when the Falcons went from the Dome to the Benz. I don't know that just because I'm like some huge Falcons fan, which I obviously am, but I know that because I was at the first game, against the Packers. And every game I went to since then, there has not been a more lively game in the Benz for the Falcons since that game, since the very first regular season game. And that was in the 2017 season. And my good folks, it's mid-November. So in a very short period of time, it's about to be 2026. So again, we are knocking on a full decade of failure.
Who, to our staples in our franchise, and then from there we just try to figure it out how to put together a really good football team. We've signed some really good free agents. We drafted really good players, man. Jesse Bates, Terrell. I mean, these guys have been really good players for us, football players. I just think like this process, man, of just how I see football now from, when I played and went through the process, and truly understanding like my rookie year and coming in, and our team was already.
And real quick, y'all, before we continue this, y'all, we got 40 watching on YouTube, which I definitely thank everybody for coming in. Like, make sure to do me a huge favor, do the channel a huge favor. Hit the like button for us, even if you don't plan to stay here long, but I definitely hope you stay here, long enough to see the rest of the show. But if not, make sure you hit the like button. Everybody that's planning on staying here throughout the show, thank you. Make sure that you do hit the like button. And that really helps the channel a lot, helps us grow. All right, so back to our regularly scheduled program.
Already winning and going to the playoffs every year, and just the expectation of, all right, we don't have time to wait for you to develop, Roddy. We need you to be good now so we can continue the streak of just going to the playoffs over and over and over again, because the roster was set to be a playoff team. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen it. And, for young guys, it's just hard to put everything together because you're not an actual pro. You're a pro football player because you're in the league, but you're not a pro football player from showing up every day, going out there, being consistent, and putting in all the work that it needs to be, an all-pro player.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Technically, you are a pro, but that first year or two, man, you ain't learned enough in this league yet to be like a football, within the NFL in regards to like a pro. So that makes a whole lot of sense, because as Roddy just said, like when he first came to the league, hey man, it was a struggle for me. I remember, man, Roddy's first few years, like, hey man, we were saying like, man, Roddy a bust. Like, we need to get rid of this guy. He can't catch. Like, bro, he's a bust. We this is what we got in the first round. Please. And finish his career as one of our better players in franchise history. Definitely one of the fan favorites, in franchise history. So he makes a very, very good point.
So talk about that real quick. And Roddy White joins us here on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Talk about your experience as a young football player and what it took for you to realize what it was to be a pro, and who kind of beat that into your head.
I mean,
oh yeah, we're gonna jump past this a little bit because we know Joe Horn, we know that story. Let's jump past that a little bit.
But I wasn't really paying attention. My mind wasn't there.
We're gonna go. Much respect here, Rob. We're gonna jump past that a little bit.
To play fast, if you don't know, certain percentages, now you know exactly what the defense is doing, and you're able to play a lot faster and get to your points. And I'm just looking at numbers and like, all right, I mean, they're a quarter team, but just portions of the field where you could feel like, all right, I can win, and I know 70% of the time that they're playing in this coverage. Well, guess what? It's a high percentage that I need to be here on this route because this is where I have an opportunity to get the ball.
Roddy White joining us via the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Roddy, look, I will always bow down to you and Finn, guys that played in the NFL, played at a high level. I was a sideline reporter, and that doesn't mean I know football the same way as others. But there's times, to what you're talking about, simplicity, I feel like I'm watching a really simplistic offense that doesn't know what's right or wrong. I watch play calls coming in really late. I watch Michael Penix frustrated because the play's not getting there. How do you fix that to make it easier for these younger guys to have success?
Well, I think they need to have more player-to-player meetings. It's like the coaches can only do but so much.
Y'all know that's something I've been touching on for a moment here. The players can only do so much, boy. Hell of a statement. I think they need to have more player-to-player meetings. I'm definitely rocking with you on that one, Rod.
You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times in this game, in order to be successful, me, Matt, and Tony, we spent a lot of time just with each other. Like Matt would make us meet consistently over and over again.
Matt would make us meet over and over and over again. So Roddy White is pretty much saying, hey, what y'all didn't know when y'all watch us on Sunday and you see Matt throw for 340 and I get 7 catches, 110. Julio get 9 catches for 140, and Tony give us 2 touchdowns on 70 yards. Like, man, Matt Ryan had us out there spending a bunch of time with each other, bro. Like, he had us spending a bunch of time with each other. We got acclimated with each other. We started to understand each other. We built that chemistry up. We put in that work. So Roddy is touching on some of the things that a lot of times are not highlighted on what makes a successful offense.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, before practice, after practice, even Saturdays when we came in, we would have a meeting Saturday morning before everybody else met, and we would go over all the hot routes, the checks, the check with me's,
And I got to be honest, and now don't get me wrong, a lot of this does have with Penix being so young, but we see on that field a lot of times these wide receivers, they be like, they looking at Penix, and sometimes Penix looking nervous, like he don't know what. Like, you see a lot of disorganization when you watch this offense on Sunday. A lot of what Roddy is saying that they did, so they're not disorganized and people don't know what they're supposed to do. We don't see that from this Falcons team. And you can draw that back to a veteran team with a guy like Tony, like Matt eventually became. Roddy, Roddy had been in the league for some years before Matt came. And now you got a young Falcons team. Penix, second year, first year starting. Drake, this is year 4 for Drake. Kyle Pitts still on his rookie deal, but Kyle is on his 5th year option. So to me, he's a veteran now. To me, Kyle Pitts is a veteran now. You're on your 5th year option. Bijan only year 3. So I kind of see what Roddy say. Well, hey man, they need to spend more time with each other. That's why they're not. That's some of the reason they're not in sync. And the crazy thing about it, this is all starting to draw back, y'all, to what Penix said on that press conference. There's nobody here for me. There's nobody here for me. A lot of what Roddy is saying is starting to draw right back to what we heard Penix say on this press conference.
Everything, like we would literally go over everything, all these things each and every week, so that everybody knew exactly, if we got this look, this is what it is. If we got this look, this is where I need you to be. All those things were always done each and every week in order for us to have success. And that's one of the reasons we had so much success, because most of the time, it ain't that they don't know, it's that they don't know.
It ain't that they don't know, it's that they don't know. Profound statement by Roddy. Roddy cooking right now. Roddy in his bag right now. He cooking with hot fish grease right now. Roddy is having. It's Friday night. He doing that old school Friday fish fry. Got that fish in there grease, popping him on his arm. French fries, cooking at the same time. Roddy cooking right now, boy. He is really cooking.
You know what I'm saying? It's like football, you have to do everything outside of just what they tell you you're getting paid to show up to do. And
you got to do everything outside of what you got to do of what's needed of you, or what you have to do besides what you're paid to do. And I know I butchered that, but what he's pretty much saying is like, look, you got to put in the work. You got to do extra. You know, if this was like, let me bring this back to us on our regular 9-to-5 jobs. Hey, bro, you got to work voluntary overtime to succeed in the NFL. You know, if your practice is over and all the meetings are over at 6, you ain't done yet. You shouldn't leave the building till 9, and then be back in the building 5:36 in the morning. Roddy is saying you have to do a lot more than what's expected of you to do as part of your job as an NFL player. And these current Falcons, they're just doing what's expected of them to get their check, and that's not enough. They got to put in the work
in order to be great. You know what I'm saying? In order for this offense to flow, because offense is hard, man. And especially when you're breaking in a new quarterback. I remember Matt's rookie year, man. He used to be exhausted the amount of time that he would be in the building, you know, and the amount of time that he would meet with us each and every week, because it is exhausting, but at the same time, he had a lot of success because he put in that work. And I just think those little things are missing right now, you know.
Exactly what I just said. They not putting in that work. When Roddy said those little things are missing right now, they are not putting in the work. This is a guy who, how many years did Roddy play? I think about 11 or 12. You know, a guy who had about 11 or 12 year career, made all pro, made, you know, a good amount of Pro Bowls. So he can look from an expert eye and say, oh, they're not doing this. That's why they so out of sync. They're not putting in the work. They're not doing it. You know, I've been on both sides of that coin. I've been the young guy who was just happy to be in the NFL, who wouldn't put in the work and only getting 30 receptions in a season and 2 or 3 touchdowns, to a guy who started to put in the work. And now I'm getting 12, 13, 14 100-yard receiving years. I'm making Pro Bowls. I'm making all pros. He can see both sides of that coin. So he can look and tell that's offense, they ain't putting in the work. They ain't putting in the work. Them boys just getting a check. They're not really putting in that work that I put in, Julio put in, Matt put in, Tony put in. And don't get me wrong, y'all. I know those are big shoes to fill, because I just named some Hall of Famers. I'm saying those are some big shoes to fill. But hell, if you want to be great, I would it take. That's what Rod is saying.
From the team.
Do you think the guys are putting in the work that you're talking about right there?
No, I don't think they're having, you know, player-led meetings. I don't think that they're staying out there to go over certain things. I don't think that's happening right now.
You can see John, the facial expression. I think this is John Michaels. He like, That's why we love to hear Roddy speak. This is Roddy's team. He love his team, but you know what? He gonna be honest about his team. Like, y'all ain't putting in the work, bro. Y'all ain't putting in the work. Y'all coming to Flowery Branch and you stand there your 8 or 9 or 10 hours that's required, and you going home. You ain't putting in no 14, 15-hour days like me and Matt did. Like me and Julio did. Y'all not doing that. Y'all ain't doing that. That's why you're not scoring. That's why you're not getting the most of this offense. That's why y'all look so disorganized out there. And at times pathetic as an offense. You're not putting in the work. As Roddy said, you have to do more than what's expected of you.
Should that be forced by the coaching staff, or does that have to be player-led, Roddy?
Now, that's a great question. That's a great question, because now he's about, okay, Roddy, these last couple of minutes, you've been talking about what the players are not doing. So now let's go to the other side of the building. should the coaching staff be on these guys' ass to put in more work? Let's see what Roddy have to say. That's a good question. That's a great question.
No, that's player led. I mean, I don't remember a time where any of the coaching staffs were like, Musgrave would pop his head into the meeting because he would give us the clips. Like Matt would tell him, all right, listen, I need 25 clips of first and 10 from the 40 to the 40. So we would watch a team 25 clips of their last 3 to 4 games from 40 to 40. What coverages they getting, you know what I'm saying? The down and distance and everything, first and second down. And we would watch all those clips.
What Roddy is saying, and he hadn't said it verbatim, but he's saying Matt Ryan was a good damn leader. Matt Ryan was a good damn leader. That's the gist of a lot of what Roddy is saying right now. And I'm not saying that to take a shot at the current quarterback in Penix, because he's still a young puppy. You can't ask Penix to be what Matt Ryan was at this juncture of his career. But I will say this: in order to eventually get to Matt Ryan's level of success and then to eventually surpass Matt Ryan, Penix is going to have to put in this kind of work or more. That's what it's going to take. Because Roddy is saying that, hey, man, this shit ain't just going to come easy, bro. Like, we all talented. We all super talented in this league, bro. Even these dudes on the practice team, super talented. We all got talent. If not, we wouldn't be here. Or if we do get here, we won't last long. So, man, Rod is hitting on some great, great points.
No matter what the down distance is. And then the next day, we will watch the third down clips. Like, all right, we're going to do this third down package today. These are all the third down clips we're going to run. It'd be 3 to 6, and then it'd be 6 to 9, and then it'd be 12 plus. And then we'll go to certain areas of the field and just watch this defense and watch.
Fan looking like, yeah, he ain't lying.
Watch these clips all the time. And then when we got into the game, they would do exactly that. So we actually knew what coverages they were in and what opportunities we had to make plays, and we knew where the ball was going. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So none of that was led by the coaching staff, I don't think, unless Musgrave was telling Matt, hey, you need to do this and get the guys organized, which I didn't know. I just know Matt was like, hey, we got to meet.
I can almost guarantee you that Mike Mularkey or Terry Ribisky or Bill Musgrave said to a young quarterback, you need to get with your receivers and be married to them and work with them and meet with them and do all these. I mean, Matt was a smart football player. Matt moved into my neighborhood. His girlfriend at the time, now wife, Sarah, lived outside the neighborhood in a condo across the street because he wanted to be so focused on football, and that was the number one thing his first 2 or 3 years in the league, and he knew how important it was. But I guarantee you that the coaching staff recommended to him or hinted to him, you need to do the things that you're talking about you guys did, and we did for my last 3 years.
So Matt moved in the neighborhood, and he put his lady across the street in a condo. Okay.
In the league with Matt, and it's hard to teach, but you got to do it. And if you don't do
so, and pretty much what Finn is saying in here is he's saying, or he believes that somebody on the staff suggested or recommended, like, hey Matt, you and Roddy, you Julio, Tony here, hey man, y'all need to be the four amigos. Wherever they go, you go. Wherever you go, they go. Spend as much time as you can with each other, studying, running routes, et cetera, et cetera. And this just reminded me of something also. Do y'all remember Julio Jones' retirement speech that he did on 404 Day? Do y'all remember what he said about Matt Ryan? I'm paraphrasing here, but Julio said, hey, Matt Ryan, thank you, man. When I first got in the league, you was taking me to Buford High School, running routes, helping me get better. Roddy is saying the same thing. Interesting.
do it, you're going to have a team that's 3-6 and struggling on third down. And to your point, third downs aren't that hard because if you step.
Shit, it's hard as hell for the Falcons, boy. Damn, boy. It's hard for us, Finn. Boy, it's that's mission impossible for these Falcons in 2025. Third down? You talking about a team that's allergic to third down? What did we say the last 3 games were, y'all? What, 3 out of the last 29? Something like that? It's hard for us, Finn. It might not have been hard for you and Matt when y'all played, or you and Vic when y'all played, but it's hard for these current Falcons. They just can't get it together.
Study and look at the tendencies. You can learn and how to do it. Do you think football today, NFL football, is better or worse off based off of practice, time, not playing in the preseason, all the different things that are going on?
I would say the preseason was kind of finicky for me, but we always did everything in the preseason. It was like Smitty was adamant about us being like playing games. Dan Quinn was adamant about us playing games, in the preseason.
So Roddy so far said, unlike Raheem Moore, it's like, hey, Smitty like, boy, y'all about to play some preseason. Dog. I don't care what you and Julio and, I don't care what y'all, Matt Ryan, I don't care what y'all say. I don't care how much studying y'all did. Y'all finna get these reps. Same thing with Dan Quinn. Boy. Rod, yeah, you in year 10, yeah, get ready in August. You're gonna play at least 10 snaps. So Rod is saying, hey man, they had my prior Falcons coaches. Oh yeah, we played preseason, bro. Believe that.
So it doesn't matter. I remember one time we was playing the Miami Dolphins in the preseason. We couldn't score, and Smitty was so pissed off. We were supposed to play like the first quarter. We went all the way into halftime, and he wanted to take us like out of halftime into the third quarter because we didn't score any points, and he felt like the offense wasn't where it needed to be.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So I think these guys need to play in the preseason because it's
all right. So everybody who's pro preseason, and I know a few of y'all in here now, Roddy White said, hey man, I think these guys need to play preseason. So Roddy does agree with quite a number of y'all. Like, yeah, they need to play preseason. Y'all see what happened? Like, these boys, they need to play preseason games.
just helps with the communications. You get an opportunity to actually be in a live game. And when you see things, you get to talk on the sideline and go through things, and not a regular season game is the very first time you actually doing that, especially with the quarterback and going through plays and stuff like that on the sideline. So I actually think that you actually need to go through preseason. And as far as practices and stuff like that, I don't think that's going to change, because of the rules and the regulations now and how people are handling situations. I just don't think, especially talking to, old school coaches, even the defense coordinator, Brick, he was like, man, with the rules and everything, is just not as physical as it used to be,
So, and I don't know if y'all caught that, but that goes back to what I said a moment ago. Like, Roddy still has a relationship with a good amount of people inside Flowery Branch, because he's saying now that he talked to Jeff Ulbrich, I'm assuming around probably preseason or before the regular season started, and he telling them like, look, that's why we practicing like this now, man. It's not the same when you was out here, Rod. It's different now.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's tough because, blocking and tackling and being in the right position and doing all that, you don't get that if you don't have that physicality at practice, man.
He's Roddy White. He joins us here on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker.
Boy, I know if coaches watching this, boy, he gonna talk so much shit at me about what Roddy said. I told you they should have been playing preseason. I told you, Raheem too. So I told you. Shout out to you, Coach, if you watching.
Line. Do you think Kirk Cousins should play a role in what you're talking about? Because that guy's been around the league a long time. He's led the league in passing. He's a 4,500, 30 touchdown cat for multiple years. Do you think he should play a factor in this young Michael Penix career and show him and teach him what should go on? Because I'm guarantee you, Kirk Cousins was meeting with his receivers in Minnesota.
Okay, here we go. It took about 15 minutes, but hey, here we are. Let's see what we get with this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Kurt should be a big, intricate part of his development, and especially at this stage of his career. I think Kurt right now should literally make Mike Penix and be in meetings with Mike Penix with the wideouts and making sure he's getting all this stuff done. Even when we were meeting with Matt, the backup quarterback in these meetings were actually there too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like I don't want to put nothing on them that they're not doing, but it's almost like they're insinuating in a sense that Kirk is not doing this and he should do this. And that also goes back to what Penix said in the press conference. Nobody is helping me. Nobody is helping me. So it's kind of like that's where this question came from. And it's probably why they say that for toward the end, you know, the cliffhanger in a sense, if that makes any sense.
So I think with all the experience that Kirk Cousins has and all the things that he's gone through and how he prepares, and everybody tells me about how, you know, detailed he is and everything. And I've seen him in meetings, you know, telling guys, hey, I need you here on this. If this happens, this is what
I've seen him in meetings. Boy, Rod deep in the Falcons. I've seen him in meetings. All right. Now, don't be surprised if Roddy end up getting some kind of position with the Falcons, man. He may end up on the coaching staff one of these days, or may end up like Ward Dunn, you know, on the executive side of the Falcons. Remains to be seen, but I would not be surprised one bit.
I want you to do. So just me watching him, if he can install that into Mike and help him throughout the process, because when I watched his interview the other day, when I heard Michael Penix say, when he says, like, when a reporter asked him, who do you lean on?
All right, here we go. We finally got here, y'all. We finally got here. Shout out to my guy, Uncle Steve, in the house. Y'all make sure that y'all do check out Uncle Steve's Lounge here on YouTube, man. One of our best and greatest Falcons content creator. What's happening with you, Steve? He says, easy for Finn to say that, but things are so much different in 2025 than they were in 2008. Excuse me. My personal opinion is that this is being overblown a little. So Steve is saying, look, the entire situation is being blown out of proportion. You know, we may be making this a lot bigger than it actually is, which is a very, very, very valid point.
And like the question just went over his head.
Roddy said the question went over his head. Do y'all think the question went over Penix's head? What do y'all think in the comment? Y'all think the question went over Penix's head? Like, did he maybe? I see you, Coach. Shout out to Coach also. Y'all make sure to check out the Coach's Corner here on YouTube as well. Coach and his co-host, they come on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Great content, so make sure to show them a bunch of love. Do y'all think the question went over Penix's head?
That kind of baffled me, knowing that you got a 13-year vet quarterback in the room with you. That means that you don't trust him to give you information to help you on Sundays.
Oh, boy. Ooh, man. Ooh. Roddy said that baffled me, knowing you got a 13-year vet quarterback in a quarterback room. That means you don't trust the information that he's giving you to help you on Sundays. That's a profound statement. It's almost like, I don't want to put words in Rod's mouth, but it's almost like he's saying the quarterback room is broken. Like Penix don't trust Kirk, and Kirk maybe ain't trying to help Penix. Sincerely help Penix. That's what I took from it. You know, let me know what y'all got out of that statement.
And I don't think that's good at all. I just think that's not good at all.
No, that's not being a good teammate. That's not being a lot of things.
Fans say that's not being a good teammate.
Yeah.
Well, Roddy, what is good is high school playoffs, and apparently the Peachtree Ridge Lions.
All right, shout out to the Peachtree Ridge Lions. I'm assuming maybe Roddy coaches them right now. I'm really not sure, but that's pretty much the end of the interview, I guess, because it's saying here only about 2 minutes left. So obviously they're about to get off the Falcons and talk about high school football. But y'all make sure to check this interview out at 6 to 8 of the Fan. Listen to it uninterrupted in its entirety. Nice stuff there by Roddy White. A lot of information, a lot of expert information from Roddy. Let's now go to Allison, and I'm not gonna mess up her name because I can't pronounce it correctly. But this is, and also thank you to Lisa for sending this to me. But this is the person that asked Penix the now controversial question. So let's hear her spiel on this.
Making national news.
Channel 2 sports anchor Allison Mastrangelo asked Michael Penix a question that everyone Allison's talking about.
Yeah, this is very interesting.
Can y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all can hear that, because I know sometimes when I blow up the screen for whatever reason, the volume stops working. Can y'all hear that news footage? There's somebody give me like, yeah, we can hear it if you don't mind, just so I know to keep going. Because when I blow it up, I actually can't see the comments here that y'all make, and I don't want to be playing this if y'all can't hear. So if y'all could hear that news, okay. Thank you very much, Lady Bird. Appreciate it. All right, so let's get back to it.
Michael Penix Jr. was hard on himself after the Falcons loss in Berlin. Head coach Raheem Morris told me on Wednesday that he talked with Penix after the game, letting him know that these losses are not all on him. So I followed up with the Falcons.
Now, that is the right thing to say. Yeah, you gotta console your young quarterback, keep his confidence up, let him know, hey man, this is not all on you. We are a team. We're not the Atlanta Penixes. We are the Atlanta Falcons. So we win as a unit. We lose as a unit.
Quarterback. And here's my unedited question and his response during yesterday's media availability.
Okay, so she say unedited, so maybe it is something I missed. Let's see.
Who do you lean on to help you? We haven't played quarterbacks. Would you lean on a former quarterback or your coaches to kind of just help you kind of assess things and good and bad?
Unedited. That's the same thing we just heard. What she mean unedited? That's the same as that question. I didn't hear anything different when she say unedited. Or is she insinuating that it was on social media and people edited the question? But that's just, I don't see anything different. It's just the same question I've been hearing all over social media. So I don't know. Let's keep going. Maybe Penix answer got edited. Let's see.
Saying as far as on the field?
Yeah, both.
Man, why is this camera quality so much better with this right here? This looks like network TV.
Mentally and physically.
Oh,
let me go back. It just like when he say you mean on the field, it's like even he is re-clarifying. Like, you mean on the field, right, and not at the crib, right? You mean on the field?
You saying as far as on the field?
Yeah, both.
You saying on the field?
To help you mentally and physically.
No. Mentally,
that was he thought about it too for a second and a half. And I think he actually debated it within himself. Should I be honest or should I be political? and he chose honesty. That's what I got from his facial expression and his hesitation before divulging his answer here.
Like my fiance, she's always there for me.
Hey, much love to the fiance and them being in love and their upcoming marriage. But boy, that's not the first name you want to hear on that question. Because it's a football question. And like, hey, I'm not disparaging his relationship at all, so please don't take that as such. But this is a football question, bro. Like, if that's the first person that comes up for your support system with football, we got a big old problem, boy. Lord.
So I know whenever I get home, it doesn't matter how I played. She's always gonna be there for me. She's gonna have a smile on her face and give me a hug and make me feel good no matter what. But as far as like physically, the on the field stuff.
Okay, here we go. He reclarifies a second time. So maybe, like Roddy said, maybe if the question did go over his head, he's clarifying again. But as far as on the field stuff, let's hear his answer.
It's not nobody that I'll talk to, like as far as another quarterback or anything like that. You know, I do have people reach out to me. I do have quarterback coaches though back at
I do have quarterback coaches, but just not the Falcons quarterback coaches.
home that reach out to me as well. You know, tell me, hey, like you need to clean this up, clean that up, you know, and everything will be good. So those guys help me.
That's the end of it. I don't know. Maybe he just don't trust his coaches in Atlanta. Maybe that was it. You know, I'm assuming he met his quarterback coaches in high school or college, but for not one teammate, y'all, not one Falcons teammate, not one Falcons coach to get mentioned in such a long and well thought out answer. Let's make sure we point that out. Penix thought about what he was going to say before he said it. So for such a long and well thought out answer, nobody from the branch gets mentioned. It's unbelievable. Almost a loss for words. This reflects terribly on a relationship between Michael Penix and the people inside Flowery Branch who was there to mentor him, coach him, teach him, and be his support system. And I reluctantly say this, but you ever been at a job that you just hate? You don't like your coworkers, don't like your supervisors, you don't like your manager. So you're by yourself. You don't really talk to nobody. You just hate this job. You can't wait to leave this place. You can't wait to leave this place. I must be honest. This is how this sounded a little to me. Not good. Not good at all. Shout out to everybody watching, man. We got 50 plus watching on YouTube, man. Y'all do your dog a favor, man. Do me a big favor. Give me an early Christmas gift and make sure that you do press that like button for me. Helps the channel out a great deal. Thank you in advance. Shout out to also everybody that's watching on Twitter. Shout out to the Twitter crew. Appreciate y'all coming in. Looks like we got about 55 plus watching on Twitter. So shout out to everybody showing love on Twitter. All the people that are watching on Twitter. Make sure that you do follow us on YouTube. You know, that helps out the channel. a great deal as well. But y'all, this was like I said, I'm at loss for words, man. I'm I'm really at a loss for words after just dissecting this last 90 or so minutes. I didn't leave this after talking with y'all, listening to y'all's point of view. I did not leave this with any different opinion, perspective, or frame of mind that I came into it with. I still feel like this was a terrible look, you know. Not really faulting Penix, but certain things you just got to keep in house, and I think this was really one of them. But as I said when I first came on, like, look, man, it's Friday night, bro. It's Friday night, so I don't want to hold y'all up. So I want to thank everybody that came through. We got a game this Sunday, so as easy as it is for me to say this, let's hope the team can put this week behind them. This was a pretty rough week in regards to what happened on the field and everything that has happened in the media since, from the Penix press conference we just watched to the Penix post game, where, you know, he looked like he was having an anxiety attack. All of that comes with it. I just hope this makes our young quarterback so much stronger, and everything that he had to go through is just a learning step, and he uses this as fuel and motivates him to one day become the greatest Atlanta Falcons player. Y'all thought I was going to say quarterback. Greatest Atlanta Falcons player of all time. With that being said, much love to y'all. God bless. Be safe this weekend, and we will see y'all after the game on Sunday for the post-game show. Peace.